What an intro. How's everyone doing? Fine? Great. There was two people on front row, all excited. Awesome. I'm excited to be here today, and congratulations to all the people that put on this amazing event. I've been listening to all the speakers and feel quite humbled to be following all of those amazing people. And I'm not going to talk about IoT. So I don't know how you feel about that. But I want to talk about something a little bit different. Have you guys ever tried to have a picture stuck in your head and it just can't get out? Like this mental picture that just won't leave? So I have this picture. And a friend of mine, actually a colleague of mine, showed that to me. And he talked about these sort of plastic islands floating around in the ocean. You guys familiar with those? Some of them bigger than Texas, massive islands. Actually, MacArthur Foundation did a study and found out that if we continue using plastic as we do, in 2050, we'll have more plastic in the ocean than fish. So I guess in many ways, that's terrible. So it kind of stuck with me, this picture. And I see it in particular when I go winter swimming. Any winter swimmers in here? I thought you guys were Vikings. Is that what you guys do? Okay, well, never mind. I go winter swimming, and I get this mental picture of this every time I go. So I started digging a little bit into, somebody must be doing something about this. And to your point before, I was thinking, there's got to be a big corporation who's been looking into this, fixing this, right? So anyway, I came across this. Are you guys familiar with this? The largest cleanup in history. It got a lot of social media attention recently. So did a massive company come up with this? No. Who came up with this? Basically what it is this massive installations out in the ocean, leveraging the streams in the ocean, collecting all of the plastic. Crazy idea. So this guy came up with this. His name is Bojan. Dutch guy. He was 18 when he came up with this, you could say, technology or installation. I don't know what you guys did when you were 18, but this is kind of not what I was doing. And I have this vision of him just standing there in front of the ocean saying, I'm going to fix this. Right? So anyway, did he go down to the bank and say, hey, bankers, I need about $2 million to get started. Do you want to fund me? Was that how he funded this? No. What did he do? Yeah, he crowdfunded it. He went out to the crowd and said, guys, I need to find a way to, to make this work. He also kind of, you could say, crowdfunded people from around the world that was really also as passionate about saving the oceans as he was. And guess what? Last year they did a prototype of this, installed it, and it turns out it works. So if they fully deploy this all over the world, in 5 years, they can collect half the plastic of the planet. Now, that's pretty cool for an 18-year-old. And for me, it kind of shows a little bit about what kind of leadership that we're going to see in the future. And we've been talking about technology throughout the entire day. And I think we need to think about how are we actually going to leverage all of the opportunities and power that we get with technology. And I think it takes a different kind of leadership than what we've had before. So we need to embody all of these 4 elements. We need to be the futurists that really can envision a different, better future. But we also need to be the technologists that knows how to leverage different technologies and really ride the exponential wave of different technologies. We also need to be the innovators that can come up with new business models and new ways of saving money or building new businesses in different ways. But we also need to be the humanitarians, the one that say, well, we want to do this because it's the right thing to do and because it makes sense. And when we look into the future, right, very often we have this picture, right, green, a lot of people, all nice and utopian. How do people get around in this utopian world? Yes, flying cars, of course. I'm not saying you're predictable at all, but that's how we do. This is one scenario of the future. This is another one, right? Scary. There's one thing missing in this picture. Yes, bad robots. Some evil AI has taken over the world. See, the interesting thing is, We live in an extraordinary time in the history of mankind, because never before has one person had the opportunity to impact as many people as we do today. Imagine 200 years ago, you wanted to impact, I think there's like 750 people in this room. How would you do that? You'd get up on your horse and start riding, or how would you do that? Today, many of you impact, thousands of people on a daily basis. And that requires a lot of responsibility. And I think it also requires that we start thinking about what challenges we decide to take on. So when you're going to go out there and build amazing IoT and other technological installations and businesses, think about what is the challenge that you're solving, what is the problem for humanity that you are fixing. Because the future really depends on that choice, what you decide. And that also means that what we spend our time on becomes some of the most important questions that we can ask. Because, we can spend our time on this. I hope nobody made this. I'm sorry if you did. If you're the designated driver home tonight, you can drink from the iBeer app. I think it also burps. Amazing UX designers, legal people, all kinds of different jobs went into making this. Anybody in here have children? Yeah, remember when they lose a tooth, you have to put money under the pillow. If you forget, you get in trouble. Yeah? If you don't know how much money you should put under the pillow, you can check the Tooth Fairy app, and it will tell you in your local neighborhood how much money you should put under the pillow. So, we can spend our time on this, or we can spend our time on this, which is basically the entire world coming together and saying, hey, we have these problems. How about we fix it? How about we fix the UN sustainability goals and make that into our businesses? And I know that a lot of businesses are actually taking this responsibility on, and we need to. Right? So I'll give you a little bit of a secret sauce in this world of technology. So I think actually here the Nordics, including Norway, have a massive responsibility. Because if we look around in the world and see how technology is used, I think we actually have a very unique opportunity to be the ones that show the world how to leverage technology in a positive way and leverage it to make customers to solve their problems and problems that actually matter. And I think that's pretty much the secret sauce. So I'll share a model with you. We call it the fundamental force. And it's basically what all people want. So if you were to listen to anything, it might be these 4 things. And hopefully you can use it for something. So when you design an offering, think about this. No person wakes up in the morning thinking, today I want to be a worse person than yesterday. That's kind of not how we roll. Like, this is old technology, not just mine, but yours as well, right? Our brains didn't get an upgrade in something like 50,000 years. It's super old technology, right? And so we are constantly on this quest to become a better version of ourselves. And there are 4 things that we want to be better at. First of all, we want to be better. And I don't know if you can see in the back this halo on top of this person's head. We want to be better people. So this is about our values and our moral landscape. So I drive an electric car, and no, it's not a fancy Tesla. It's one of those old, first mover electric cars. Every time I sit in that car, even though, the ones that made it went bankrupt and everything, I sit there and I look over at this massive SUV pulling up next to me, and I personally feel like I'm saving the planet. I just feel like such a good person, right? And you guys know that feeling of when you really feel that you are doing something that makes sense and is really valuable for people, right? So we all want to be better. Your customers also want to be better. We also all want to do better. And I'll admit, I flew here, and do you guys remember these in the airport where you have to go like this? Yeah? What do people do? Somebody did this. Yes, they go under. Why do people go under these things? To save time. How much time exactly do we save? Maybe a couple of seconds, yeah? The thing is, out on the savannah 10,000 years ago, if that gentleman over there in the back, sorry for pointing, was a sable tiger and I had a couple of extra seconds, I might actually make it to safety. So we're hardwired to want faster, cheaper, smarter, right? In the Nordics, we'll wait about 2 seconds for a video to start, and if it doesn't start after we push it, in 2 seconds we'll get annoyed. 2 seconds, right? We also all want to feel better. So how many people in here, Apple just launched a new product. How many in here has an Apple product? Show of hands. Yeah, so no wonder they're doing okay. Do you guys remember when you got the box? And you open it? Actually, you didn't open it. You opened the box. Remember? How many of you guys kept the box? Why'd you keep the box? Yeah, it's just nice. It has this feel better kind of thing, right? And we all have this, that's why do we put candles on the tables? It's not because we can't see anything or because it's cold. It's because it's nice. We all want to feel better. We also all want to look better. And look better is not about how we physically look. Look better is about sort of our social capital, our social status. So out on the savannah 10,000 years ago, if nobody liked me, I would likely die, right? So if I was alone, I would die. So we can think it's shallow that we actually want community, but it's extremely important. So I think about this. What was the first thing I did when I got my new electric car, by the way? It was not driving it. It was taking a picture of it and putting it on social media, right? And then I got likes, and then my old school brain just immediately had dopamine and endorphins, and it was all about look better, right? So we all want to be, do, feel, and look better. And I encourage you to think about that when you create your next offering. And make it bigger, right? Make it solve problems. And think about this guy, right? Do you think he was brave? Yeah? Do you think he was brave? No. Because the interesting thing is, if we do something we're truly passionate about, and we do something that helps other people, and maybe even helps humanity, then bravery comes for free. Isn't that smart? So I encourage you to go home, do something super brave, and if nothing else, run like hell, because there's a massive potential out there to help a lot of people, and I hope you will. Thank you very much.